But
Yeah.
that goes into wouldn't you say, Amanda, like mate selection? Then make sure that you're properly selecting the right man that you know is gonna be there for you. Because I feel like a lot of times now we're selecting dudes just based off of status and those things that check the boxes, but we're not really selecting based off of character and
Character, yeah.
what's gonna be real or what's gonna be fake. So like kind of with Jennifer and Morgan, I think Amanda, you said yourself, and Crystal, you've also had that experience. You're dealing with guys that they check all these boxes, but they're fucking dry as hell. They're empty. You know, you can
Terrible.
blow them with the wind. So what would you say to girls, right, young ladies who are looking at this and they're looking for a partner? What kind of characters should they be looking for?
Well, they should look for someone. For me, I look at someone first. I have to be physically attracted to someone first. So for me, it's like if you catch my attention, it's sort of the eyes first. Then I look for personality, and then my third thing is, would we be stable together? Because that's basically like the ultimate thing. Like, if we're going to be in a relationship, could this be long term? Because if not, then it's like, where's this going to go? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I've met plenty of guys that they, like I said, they have it all. But if I can't tolerate your anger issues and you just being a terrible person, like, it's just going to go nowhere. I mean, I'd rather have a guy that could provide me stability, but not be like say like a millionaire.
Okay.
Than a guy that's a millionaire and that's a jerk.
I would say with my experience, I've been with men that are perfect for me, right? Like, one thing I really look for is loyalty, respect, honesty, right? Transparency, vulnerability, right? And I've been with men that have all that, and they may even have money, but I'm just not attracted to them. And then I've been on the other end of the spectrum to where they're so attractive, like so passionate, this and that, yet they may not show the qualities that I need, like for long-term sustainability. So what I would say is, if you're looking for a man, just make sure that they do have the most important qualities. Like, you're not going to get 100% grand slam, but like, you need to make sure you have the basics covered. And it's almost like, well, what are you willing to not sacrifice? But nobody's perfect. So you have to love somebody. You have to love them for their imperfections. So you got to choose. Like, for me, most importantly, again, respect, honesty, loyalty, and that stability does come into play. Yes, attraction is also important, but are they going to be a multi-millionaire with like 10 yachts? Maybe not. But you gotta pick and choose. So that's my take on that one.
So what essentially, if in terms of character, because we're talking about character versus what check the boxes on paper, right? So a lot of you guys, we were just talking about, have experience with dating guys who check the boxes, you know, maybe 6 figures, maybe 6 feet, but they're shallow, or there's some things, maybe they're jerk, you know, things like that, right? So in terms of dating now, we understand that it's not always about the paper. What kind of characters are you looking for in a man? And if a young women were watching this panel right now of young ladies such as yourself, what do you think they should start looking for in terms of character?
I definitely think someone that's respectful to everyone. You want someone that respects you, someone that you can respect, someone that's like respectable and deserves to be respected. I like people that are genuine, because I'm a very I'm like the most honest. Like, I don't know if I know anyone more honest than me. Like, whenever I'm with someone, I always tell them right up front. I'm like, ask me anything you want to know. You know, if you have any questions or anything, like if something's bothering you, I'd rather you tell me about it. We can talk about it. Like, the open communication is such a big thing, and it's so hard because it has to be maintained on both sides. But I think communication and like really finding someone that's genuine, but it's hard to find someone that's genuine if you don't know what you want or you don't know who you are. So you do have to like get in touch with yourself first to figure that out in order for that to come to you. I don't know, just someone that's accepting, someone that's friendly, someone that's always interesting. Like, I get bored easily, so I like people that just interest me. I like people that are spontaneous.
So what does that mean? So when you say you get bored easy, what does that mean? Because that could be a different, you know, that can mean multiple things. Are you do you get bored easy? Like, are you looking for personality? Like, what are you looking for?
When you're in a relationship and one person is more interested than the other one for whatever reason, one person in the party, it takes 2 to tango, whatever it is, no matter, you know, what it is. If one person in the party is not, like, I don't know, compromising to a certain extent, like, everything takes work. It's going to take active work. So if you're with someone who just kind of loses motivation and really like doesn't deeply care about the relationship like you thought that they did. So they're not like really that genuine because you thought they were like genuine towards you, and really they don't care for you very much at all. And you'll know that by the way that they treat you.
What it is that ignorance is bliss. And I'm about to put y'all up on some game right quick. I know all of y'all got a bunch of Apple devices, right? You ever stopped and thought why they chose to go with that logo and why they chose to go with that name?
Something like that.
No, it's a bit. It's a bit.
Apple.
It's a bit.
It's an
apple.
apple.
It's a bit apple. Now, what the hell does an apple have to do with technology? Well, I'm gonna tell you. There's a story in the Bible that we're all familiar with. Now, when Eve bit that apple, where did that apple come from? That apple was from the tree of knowledge. The tree of knowledge, right? And what is that knowledge? Because this confuses a lot of people, and they don't put enough thought into it and analyze what the Bible is trying to say when it says knowledge, right? Knowledge of what other people are doing. Knowledge of what else is out there. Knowledge of what other options are out there. Prior to Eve biting that apple, the garden was bliss. And you know why it was bliss? Because they were ignorant of anything other or better. Now, that same knowledge is what's fucking us up today. Because women just looking around and see what everybody else is doing, what everybody else has, all these other alternative lifestyles and alternative relationship dynamics. And that's why they don't know what the fuck they want. You understand what I'm saying? Or how to even get it, or how to recognize it when they do, or to keep it when they have it, rather than still be looking at what else is out there, right? So this is the thing here. You gotta ask yourself, right? Women keep on making these comments because women say these things, man. It's like, oh man, you just like, oh, turn that bullshit off with that. Oh, I have to grow first, and I need self-growth, and I need healing, and I need to learn my. Listen, I'm sorry, baby. All that sounds like shit you should have been doing when you were growing up in your household. That's what it is. You missed the bus. Yeah, that's true. Because if you're 20-something years old, 30-something years old, and you're still trying to find yourself, you're still trying to learn yourself so that you can be in a relationship with another. Think about what you're saying. All through history, by your early 20s, you already started a family. You didn't have to find yourself because you already knew yourself. You didn't have to find yourself because there wasn't all this exterior shit going on. There were men, there were women, they came together, they made children and families and so on. That's it, right? Yeah. So everything got complicated because now we have all these Apple devices constantly showing us what someone else is doing. A woman will be happy with her husband. I got married finally, and we have our children, and they're so beautiful, and blah, blah, blah. And then she starts looking at the laptop. She starts looking at the iPhone, and now she's bored. Being a stay-at-home mother is just boring. I'm not excited. I need excitement in my life. All these other girls are traveling, and they're all doing stuff. If she didn't have that fucking device, if she had knowledge of what everybody else was doing, she'd just be happy with her children, engaging with her neighbors, setting up play dates, okay, with her neighbors and their children. The husbands would be off earning and trying to constantly provide a better life for their families, and everybody would be content. So
that's a good point. Yeah, let me ask the girls these questions. Have you guys ever been in a situation where social media, and this can be in your recent past or way past or current relationship, where social media has had a negative influence on your relationship? Anyone, Crystal, Morgan, any of you guys will get started. Has social media impacted negatively your relationships? Cher, I'm about to put you on. I see you. All right, say hi, girl. How you doing? What's up? Say hi to the panel. Hey, real quick, introduce yourself.
My name is Cher, and I live here in Miami. Good to see you guys.
Well, good. Thanks for coming on, Cher. All right, so back to the question. All right, so has social media negatively impacted the relationship you were previously with, currently with, and if so, how?
I think that anyone who says no is a liar.
No,
seriously, it does for everyone.
Okay, let's hear it.
For everyone, I mean, it not just like relationships, but like even like your own mental health, like the way that you judge yourself, like the way that you judge others, like it does that for everyone. Like it's nothing to be ashamed of. It just does. Like the way that you judge, the way that like you look at yourself with your career, with like literally everything. That's just how it is. Unfortunately, it's That's how it is.
I think probably like more so when I was like in high school, maybe like a little bit after high school. But as I got older, not really. I don't really take social media that serious. It's just like an app. Like if I'm not acting crazy on social media and you're not acting crazy on social media, I don't really see what the issue is. I'm not gonna trip about like a picture,
Right.
or like a
So
comment.
is it more so like because obviously we know social media makes it easier to look at different options and potentially maybe accept one of those options while you still have a man or while the man is still in a relationship. So has that been a situation where either that has tempted you, maybe your man's been fucking up and somebody else is trying to slide in, and something happened? Has that been a situation? This could be for anyone in the panel, right? Because that's one of the running theories right now about social media, right? It's making it easier for women to cheat. We got women on a panel. Let's validate that. Is it true? Is it not?
I think social media definitely makes it easier to see your options. Like your options are easy access, but it depends on the type of person you are. Like for me personally, when I'm in a relationship, if I like somebody, that's the only person I'm gonna like, regardless if someone else has more money or is more attractive in my face. And then once I know when I start losing feelings in a relationship, and I'm a genuine person. Like if I'm not feeling it, the other person's gonna know it's best if I leave. But I do know a couple of people, before they leave their relationship, they make sure that they get their other options.
Oh yeah, they go monkey branch. For sure. It's natural.
It just depends. It depends on who you are as a person, how you like to do things.
It really is for loyalty, like they make songs about it. I just think people aren't loyal these days. Because if you have morals and a code, like if you're in a relationship with someone, you should have those boundaries set. Like I'm not going to restrict you from having social media, you can have friends. I don't want to be that controlling girlfriend or vice versa. However, if you don't respect the boundaries, and you might get tempted, because women are going to try you. Men are going to try you. And it's interesting enough, I used to be married. I got hit on more when I was married by men. Oh, we can be friends. No. Respect. Like, where are people morals? Like, I'm in a relationship, so you shouldn't even be trying to slide in my DMs. And
let me ask you a follow-up question
ahead.
to that. Why do you think that was? Like, why do you think the men would hit on you more than you were when you were married than when you were single? What's up with that?
I honestly don't know. I think it's like that challenge. Men love a challenge. They're hunters, so it's just like, let me see if I can tempt her. Yeah, she's married, or maybe because most men, they don't want strings attached. I don't know. Maybe you guys can answer that question.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what it is.
I
was going to say.
What it is that we know women fool around these days, and if you got a man and we fool around, I ain't gotta have the responsibility because you got your man.
Right.
Hey, those y'all guys in the stream right now, I'm sorry, we gotta be honest here on both sides. It is what it is. It's because most women, they got that security, so it's like, all right, we know for a fact that whole relationship factor, we're cut out of that. So it's like that's what it is. But
and I gotta call you out on this one, Cher. Listen, as long as we're being honest here, you said something about people aren't loyal these days. People have always been as loyal as their options, but because we got Instagram now, our options are infinite. The options are infinite. I could DM every married chick. One of them gonna cheat. I could DM 50 married women. One of them gonna cheat. Something ain't doing,
but it doesn't mean everyone's a cheater.
That goes back to your morals and your character.
I just said that. I only need one.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it regardless if you're married or if you're single. But if you have those like moral values and codes within yourself, like I'm that person. When I'm in a relationship, I'm loyal. I'm not gonna cheat. Now, if I'm not feeling you, you're gonna know. Just like we say it, like, hey, I'm having issues. I'm thinking about possibly stepping out. You're not doing what you're supposed to do.
Wait, would you let him know that though? Would you let him know that you're thinking about stepping out?
Not
if you paying the
Well,
bill.
yeah.
Come on, be real. Be real,
I'm
Cher.
very straightforward.
Come on now.
I might not put it that way. I might not put it in those exact words.
I was gonna say.
But you know, you're gonna know when a woman's not happy. If I'm not trying to sleep with you anymore, you know, and you're gonna notice those patterns, and I'm also gonna be vocal about it. So, you know, having that open communication and just respecting the boundaries, I think, with social media. I don't think there's a problem having it, but we just are not good at that. Like, how many times, especially, like I've dated athletes. How hard is it to date an athlete if you have 100,000 followers? You know, girls are leeches. They are gonna. So it's up to the man at that point to be like.
So you're saying that people, just based off your status, people gonna, because realistically, I think people who are like that, like who are leeches, I think that's who they are. But it's like you gotta, because you built your mind, you built yourself up, you can separate between the real from the leeches, right? Is that what you're getting at? Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure.
So
I mean, that's a validation thing, though. They're trying to get validated because I mean, a lot of times when they deal with these high status guys, they don't get a damn thing. So they either doing it for validation or they trying to set the baby trap, one or the other. But when they with these dudes, it's not because they feeling these dudes. It's because they know these dudes got access to any and everybody. So if they can get into bed with that dude, it makes them feel like, well, he could have had anybody. He chose me. I must be the shit. So it's a validation thing.
Yeah, let me ask a question to the girls on the panel, and then we're gonna rotate, and then we get some more answers here. But how many of you guys ever dealt with people who are either the rappers, athletes, entertainers, those type in that circle? How many of you guys on the panel actually dealt with those guys? Okay, we got Cher. Anybody else? All right. So what was I was just broadly speaking, what was that kind of experience like in terms of relationship wise? Was it something that
it was horrible.
Oh shit!
Horrible.
Off the bat,
I'm gonna be
off the bat.
It was horrible because again, like, you don't know how many times, especially, you know, I'm not, you know, no names, but long distance. You know, if you're an NBA player and we're talking, they are on the road. You just gotta know, and that's why I cut it off. You just gotta know they got bitches in every state.
Now, does that bother you? Does that bother you though, knowing that these guys have options? You know, the higher you go up there in the tier, the more options they have. So does that kill you on the inside?
It doesn't kill me because I'm very confident in who I am. Like, I might not be the baddest bitch, but I'm very confident. I know what I bring to the table, and I've been told that I'm very like vocal, strong woman. I'm very educated, you know, military background, etc. So all the boxes is checked. So the guy knows what he's getting. So I don't get intimidated by like looks or whatever, but it does something to you knowing that, you know, why are you even talking to me if we're not even going to move forward? Like, if I'm visiting you and I see, you know, you getting cards from girls talking about, oh my God.
Because men like abundance, men like variety. That's why.
But it's like, it's a waste of my time. You know, I'm not at the age where I'm a 20-year-old girl anymore.
But that's your problem. That's not his problem. That's your problem.
Yeah. But you got it. So,
but I was open to the idea. So every woman, right? You're open to that idea, thinking that you can change the guy. No.
So
you're thinking that you're the one. You're thinking that, oh, it's me. But honey, ain't nothing changed. They're gonna be who they are. You can be cute, whatever. Like,
but that's because you.
So why don't more young women who are chasing? Because let's be real, a lot of girls are overwhelmingly seeking these kind of men. So why aren't more girls understanding the fact that this is just what the game comes with? That you're not gonna feel like they're gonna be the only one. Because let's face it, dudes lie. We lie all the time. Even broke dudes. I'm sorry, you guys who've dated guys who are not up there in that status, they've lied. I mean, so they lie. So why aren't more young girls coming out already understanding that, rather than thinking that this is going to be the case and then getting themselves in trouble, or worse, burning time, the valuable years with these same guys? They don't care.
I mean, I don't think they know. Like,
I think they know.
I don't think so. When I look back on my mindset, because like most of these Instagram models and girls and stuff like that, they're young girls. And they're like 18, 19, 20. I look back at my mindset when I came out of high school, I was still in La La Land. Like, you know, you look at these celebrities and you think about the type of life that you could have with them. You're not thinking about them not being around, them talking to other women, you know, the way they may treat you, the way they may treat other people. You're just thinking about the good things that's going to happen. You're thinking about the Cinderella story. And I think majority of the time that's what it is. And when they do deal with these guys, it's just like, they're probably not going to want to say anything because he has the money, he has the access, he is a celebrity. And
yeah, but that's
I
natural.
just
That's
say,
natural.
if
That's the
you're
natural order
gonna-
thing. So
Right, but I can
something
just
like that.
Yeah, the feedback that I could give, if any woman or female is interested in dating an athlete, just know that you're not the only one and don't expect it
Yeah.
at all.
yeah, but that
you
should
know,
be
you can make
common.
it vocal.
That should be
No,
common sense.
because it should be, but it's not all the time.
So then whose responsibility is it to make sure that young girls know that, though? Is it the responsibility of people who are responsible for teaching
I
culture
think-
into the household?
Your parents.
No, I think it's important to, like any dating, to lay down the expectations up front of what you want. Ask the important questions. And don't be manipulated. Ask the important
never get-
questions.
you'll
But then
that guy
how
like that.
how would they get to the point?
understand that.
Sure,
You'll never get that guy like that.
Sure. How would they get to the point though where they can be able to know what questions to ask out of that man if they ever get to that point to do that?
The
How would they
guy
know
should
what
tell
it is?
you if he knows if he's gonna be
Okay.
with other
You're
girls.
gonna know.
He should just tell
yeah.
you.
Okay. No, because
And-
Morgan.
and usually they're
He
honest.
should not tell you.
Okay.
He should not
Well,
tell
Usually
okay.
they're
Let's hear it.
honest.
I want to know. Okay, this is good. I want to hear Morgan. I want to hear your point on why. And then Ayindei, I want to know why, especially for bringing it from the male perspective. Why not? So go ahead, Morgan. Why do you think the guy should let you know?
I've been through it through experience a
Okay.
couple different times. And so the first initial time that it happened to me, I didn't know what to expect. It just kind of happened to me. And because of how open-minded I am, I was like, okay, this is how it's going to be. Like, you're not, you sometimes as a girl, like, you have to tell yourself, you have to remind yourself, like, you're not special. Like, if you want this caliber of person, you're not going to be the only one. It's either you accept it or you don't. And some of us learn the hard way. I learned the hard way, but because I was just totally willing to accept it, that's one thing. But you have to go into things like that with no expectations. Like, but the guy should tell you up front too, because he knows if you're naive and you don't have a lot of experience or you haven't been through it before, he knows that you're expecting him to text you. He knows that you're expecting him to, like, you know, little girls, we want we want them to fucking fall in love with us. But he should tell you up front, because they told me up front, and I was like, okay, it's a take or leave it scenario. You have to, like, you know, mature your mind and be like, okay, is this what I want? Can I deal with this? Is this realistic? Is it okay? It's not long term. It's not exactly what I want, but it's either take it or leave it. That's it.
Okay. So then when do you think it'd be on the woman to understand at that point when she is being strung along? Right, to know that. Let's say, because you can ask all the question you want, and the guy can come forth or not, but people are going to be people, and they may keep some cards close to their chest, if you know what I'm saying, right? So obviously at that point, it's got to be on the other party in a relationship to understand that, hey, something's not right here, right? So when should it be on the woman to be able to recognize that, okay, he's saying these things, but now I'm being to the point where I'm being strung along? When should that be?
After a little while, you know, like with one person, I had several strikes. Just every single time, it was just like strike, and I was like, whatever, I'll just deal with it. I don't really care. It's whatever. And then after a while, I was like, okay, I had a better option come along. Well, not necessarily, because the option that I had was a very, very, very great, amazing option. Like, and I chose to be with someone else over, like, what I had was like super, 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 like, you know, big name. And I chose to be with someone else because after he was stringing me along and something else came that, like I said, was like genuine, like actually genuine, I was like, you know what? Let me just take my chances and cut my losses and see what happens. Like, you know, what are you going to do?
Okay. All right. I mean, that's valid. Ayindei, you had a point to that?
Well, I mean, the problem is women want too many conflicting things these days, man. You see what I'm saying? It don't work that way. When the cell phone came out, Ain't nobody using no damn house phone no more. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody using a house phone no more. You can't just tell a nigga when to go backwards. It ain't gonna work like that. So, first of all, if a guy's engaging with a woman that's extremely beautiful, right? You should know off rip where her level of attraction is to you, because if you out here spending your time chasing behind her and spending your money and all this other kind of shit, you should already know that there's plenty of other guys out here trying to do the same thing with this chick. So if she's not giving you that type of energy to where you ain't even have to do all of that, then you should already know you just another one of these motherfuckers out here. So it's the same thing with the females. If you're dealing with a dude that's high status, he has access to a whole bunch of females, I don't know what on God's green earth is going to make you think that you're some type of standout that's going to be making some demands. So if you're going to be running your jibs on a date talking about, well, this is what I want, this is what I expect, I'm not doing this, I'm not going to do that, he's going to nod his head and that's your last date. Just know that's your last date. And he's upset with himself that he wasted the time to come out here with you, and he's trying to salvage the night. He's like, yeah, let me hurry and get out here and see if I can call somebody else before it gets too late, right? Now that's going to go both ways, because if a female just straight sits down at dinner with a guy and says, hey, listen, this is going nowhere, I'm going to spend your money, I'm going to order the lobster, I'm not going home with you tonight, not even feel like that, but I really wanted to try this restaurant, so just so that we're cool. He probably going to try to slide up out of there before you even order. So all this, be up front and just tell you, knock it off. Knock it off. It's not going to work that way, right? So the question is, what type of intentions are you coming in here with? Because you're not coming up in here with some mutualism. You're coming up in here with what you want. Okay? You're not coming up in here trying to meet in the middle and all this other kind of stuff. Let's be for real. Let's be realistic. So this is the problem with the game that's being played, and then women want to rely on this whole, well, he hurt me, he took advantage of me, he did this. Let me tell you something. Men waste women's time when they can. The men that are in a position to have the luxury of being able to waste a woman's time, they gonna do that. And women waste men's time. It's just that more women can do that than, say, men, just because of the way our attraction systems are set up. Men have to be in the top 20% to be able to fuck around like that. But women can be in the bottom 80% and the top 80% and still fuck around like that. Only the 20% of the women that are the least attractive can't play that game. Ain't no guy wasting his time with the bottom 20% of women. Okay? But 30 and up, there's plenty of dudes out there that's gonna waste their time with you. So me, like, for example, me as a man, all this type of rah-rah, I don't even want to refer to podcasts, I'm not even gonna give names, but some other advice is telling you, you know what I'm saying, don't reschedule dates and, you know, all those kinds of, dude, I've been on that. I don't care how beautiful a girl is. The moment you tell me Thursday we doing this, and then Thursday come and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, and da-da-da, that's a wrap. I don't care how beautiful you are, but here's the thing though. I'm in a place where I can do that. I'm in a place where I can re-attract something of the same caliber or better. Now, hey, not every guy got that. I get it. Most guys don't by far. Most guys cannot fuck around like that. So they have to have that scarcity mindset just because of their situation. The problem with that is they're kidding themselves the same way the women are kidding themselves, these high profile guys. If you're a dude who does not, if you a dude and you ain't got it like that, when you could tell a 9 or a 10, I'm not rescheduling, mama. I don't care what happened. If you wasn't in the hospital, okay, if somebody ain't died, okay, if it's some poor planning on your behalf, you forgot, you overslept, I don't care.
I got sick. What if I got COVID?
That's what I'm trying to say. No, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. That's what I'm saying. It has to be something that was out of her control, and she has to let me know like immediately. And that's happened many a times where girls like, baby, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. That's right. She understands. She knows what fucking time it is. Because the moment I feel like I'm getting played or I'm wasting my time, you put me in a position where no matter how bad I want that nanana, right, I can't do it. Because if I do it, not a respect like this.
No, Ayindei, like just to add to that. Now, do you think that that's something that, you know, a lot of young men should start learning? Like the dick discipline is what I call it. You got to learn how to, because she disrespect you, but you know, you got to have enough mind not to be so thirsty to say, hey man, I want the box no matter what. Yeah, exactly.
She's used to that. She's used to guys rescheduling, bending over backwards, asking over and over again, well, can you do it this day? And you can do that day. I don't do that shit. I tell the girl, you tell me when, and I'll tell you if I'm available. Because if I'm gonna compromise my schedule and I'm gonna move things around, it needs to be worth it, right? So all of that trying to, let's do it this day instead and that day instead. It's like, bitch, what do you think I do with my time? You think I have time to I do important stuff, right? Yeah. And women is not even a priority in my life to begin with. Right? If anything, you're a relief. Okay, you're an escape from my responsibilities, you know what I'm saying, my work ethic, my grind, and all of that. So you're not even a priority to begin with. And that ain't to hurt no woman's feelings or whatever. Like, it's just not how it works, bro. So a lot of guys put themselves in that position and they don't even realize it. And majority of the women, when I come off like that, they're actually attracted to that. And one day might go by, 2 days might go by, but next thing you know, they damn near begging. They're like, listen, you know what? I'm really, really sorry. And and let me make it up to you. So that advice that homeboy was kicking on the other side, I don't know where you read that at. I don't know, you know, what fortune cookie you read that in, but you didn't do it. You didn't experience it. Because if you did, then you would know that you don't have to be the one to say to the woman, well, I'll consider going back out with you again, but you have to pay for the date. You don't say that shit. You don't say that shit. You go grind, and she comes across your IG and she's like, damn. You see what I'm saying? She thinks about you, she's like, damn. She reading the text messages over again from the last time she interacted with you. She's like, all right, time for me to drop this pride, drop this ego, which women should have in the first place when dealing with men. That's another problem. Modern women have fucking ego. They got a lot of masculine traits. They don't even realize it, right? And I can tell immediately when a woman has these traits. It's super red flag. It's a burgundy flag. If I ask a woman a question and she answers that question with a question, I got 1 foot out the door.
Why is that?
Out the door.
Break that down. Break that down for the guys and the girls. I'm sure we want to know that, right?
Right. Because everything I do, I'm testing waters. Everything I do, I'm testing waters.
Pay attention, ladies. Saying? Ladies in the chat.
I don't care. I don't care how. I don't care what the question is. If you answer a question with a question, we got a problem. Because what that tells me is that your conditioning is not conducive to how I interact with women. That lets me know that you've been fucking around with a bunch of fools. You've been fucking around with a bunch of dudes that don't put you or keep you in your place. That means that's where your experience lies, and we're creatures of habits. So is it worth it to me to try to break your habits? It takes less effort for me to find a female who doesn't have those habits to begin with. And the problem with these chicks is, if you were even to try to explain this shit to them, they wouldn't be receptive to it. Women have to learn shit the hard way. Okay? If you tell a woman the truth, you know what she's gonna do? She's gonna act like you tripping, you the problem. Then another dude tells her that, she's gonna be like, these dudes tripping. Then another dude tells her that, she's like, I don't know what's wrong with men these days. Then another woman says that's her experience, and then she starts saying, well, wait a minute. Oh shit, maybe it's true. Maybe I got shit fucked up. Right? Now look how much time she wasted before she figured that out. Look how much time she wasted, but she could have took the first dude's word for it. And women lose a lot of good options because they don't even know how to interact with a quality man. For example, you go out to dinner with a quality man, and here you go with your masculine shit. So, so I work for this company, and then I did this, and they put me in the top 10%. And then also, and he's like, am I talking to a dude? Am I talking to a dude? Because I'm on a date with a female because I don't want to talk about work. Because I don't want to talk about politics. Because I don't give a fuck what Biden's doing at this point. You understand what I'm saying? But a woman is bringing all this masculine energy over here damn near measuring her dick with the dude. Like, yes, I graduated from so-and-so and I'm educated. Women think that brings value to the dude. That makes a quality dude run the opposite direction. Any dude that's going to be sitting there nodding his head like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Too much
I have a question.
Get out of here. No, that's not what men want from women. I'm sorry. That's the equivalent of a guy sitting down and saying, yeah, so I was almost late for my eyebrow appointment, but anyway, so I just love the way that he does my manicure and he gets right up in the cuticles too, girl. I love it. So also I want to go the other day, and let me tell you something. It's the same damn thing. It's the same damn thing. I'm sorry. And so many women fuck themselves out of quality dudes.
That's
because
facts.
they say the wrong shit.
So why is that?
Why? As little as answering a question with a question. It could be that little. It could be as little as answering a question with a question.
Wow.
It shows you're not submission.
Jennifer, what do you got?
My question to you, I want a guy's perspective on this. So let's say, you are dealing with a female and she's kind of alpha when it comes to at least like her business and things like that. So a high quality man, does he care if the female has a lot going for her in that sense? Or what if she was just like a waitress, right? And there's nothing wrong with any waitresses, trust me, like there's nothing wrong with that. But let's say someone was just a waitress or just doing something and they didn't really have a lot of ambition when it came to like business, but they were so feminine. Does that matter to you? Do you judge her differently?
I would tell you, I'm gonna go a step further. I married a waitress. I married a former waitress. She didn't have to have money or anything like that. It was just because that it was just the energy that she put out, and it's hard to maybe Ayindei, you can break this down into words, but it's like when you meet a woman, man, it's just like she's just so soft, and like the energy that she brings, I don't know, it just draws it out of me. And then with her, it was just chilling with her and for a little bit, and then her knowing that she was down for me, I'm like, let me put a ring on that right now. It didn't matter what the fuck she had going on, and she wasn't as ambitious or anything like that, but it was in which at that point later, because I was way too ambitious, so that disconnect kind of rubbed the wrong way. But it didn't matter what she had afterwards or anything like that. None of that mattered. It was just the fact that she was just feminine. It was just this light, warm energy that was with her and that drawed me to her. Ayindei.
I think that females naturally are nurturers. They are feminine. They want to be feminine. And a lot of them are very masculine because they don't feel safe. So the male has to make her feel safe and make her able to want to be submissive and feminine and in her essence. So I think it's like both a little bit. But that was why I was asking, because, a lot of females will be like, oh, well, a guy has to have this, this, and this. And I wanted to know, is it vice versa? But thank you for that.
I'm gonna explain it to you, Jennifer, and I'm gonna explain it to you in terms that a woman can get it. Because when you deal with women, you can't talk broad. You have to talk personal, right? So let's go ahead and the hypothetical on. Okay. So, but before we go there, what I want you women to understand is you need to drop this selective femininity. You gotta drop this selective submission, selective cooperation. You gotta drop all of that. When he makes me feel safe, that's when I'll be feminine. When I trust him, that's when I'll be cooperative. That's like a man saying, listen, I'm gonna be masculine every now and then. Depending on how you behave, I'll decide how much of a man I'm gonna be. Maybe I'll be loyal, depending on how you act. Maybe I'll be honest, depending on how you act. It don't work that way. Men need to hold a frame, and women need to hold a frame. Now let's get into the hypothetical. If I was dealing with you, right? You got all this business stuff going on, right? You got your entrepreneur stuff going on, and that's great, right? But I'm going to tell you to the degree that I care about it, and I'm going to tell you how and when I need to find out about it. I don't need to know about that until I ask you about it. When you lead with that, you a dude, right? So let's first get that clear. I know things about you based on what I observe and what I ask, and you answer. Not what you shove down my throat, not what you present to me, not what you advertise to me. So you keep your career in your pocket until I ask you what you care about, what you're passionate about, and then you tell me. Now, to answer your question about what's the value of that to me, how much do I care? I'm going to explain it to you right now. I don't care how much money you fucking make. I don't care how successful you are. I don't care how competitive you are. I don't care about none of that. What I care about is how happy you are. I care that you're happy, right? I care that you're pleasant, you're happy, you're feeling good, you're doing what makes you feel.
That's facts. That is 100%
what makes you feel indulged. What makes you feel fulfilled, I'm going to support that. So now I can come in as a man and I can kind of look at that and say, okay, I know what she's trying to do. I know what her goals is. And then I can kind of weigh in on that and say, hey, baby, you know what? Maybe if you did this, and I kind of know some people that do that. Let me talk to some people. Let me see if I can get them to help you with this. And maybe we could do that and we can do this. And then you're like, damn, okay, great. And so I don't want you to think that it's because I care about your business growing or I want you to make more money. No, I want you to be more happy.
That's all we care about. And the thing is, that's a good point, Ayindei, because I don't think a lot of women underestimate the fact of how much men really want to make you happy. Like a lot of the shit that we do, it's exactly, it's a problem solve. We want to make you happy. If we can like literally have our life the way it is and our woman smiling and she's backing us up, that's going to make us feel so freaking fulfilled. It's not even funny. So we would do whatever it takes to make sure that whatever issue you got going on, like, we want to make sure that we come out on top of it,
right? Because I want your full attention. That's why. I want
exactly. We want to be that guy. So when the guys that you get with, like men that you get with, right? We care about your happiness more than anything in the world. The only thing is just women. It's just a little bit more confusing on what it is that makes them happy, because it can go from one way the other way, and it's like then we start to feel like what we're doing is not enough.
We feel like we're failing you now.
Exactly, and we don't like to feel like we're failing.
True, though.
Exactly. Because your
How so?
It's the
problems
number
are my
one
problems.
thing.
My problems aren't your problems.
Right. Right.
You want to say something, Jennifer?
Men don't share their problems.
Morgan
with
was
women.
going.
Women are supposed to share their problems.
Oh, Morgan said something. Morgan had something to say. All right, Morgan, go ahead.
I just think like I like what you guys are saying. Like, oh, we want to make you happy more than anything in the world, but we value your happiness more than anything in the world. I don't think that's true. I think like everyone's just so selfish these days. It's like no matter what they say,
That's the wrong man.
it's hard
That's the
for
wrong
people
man.
to really, I just think it's hard for people to really prove. I don't know if people are just oblivious or they just don't care. Like I don't know what it is, but I feel like
So let me ask you a question, Morgan. That you said
first.
that. So the man that you have right now that does it for you, right? Is he doing what it takes to make sure that you're feeling fulfilled? And if so, I mean, how can you say that it doesn't exist?
So my situation right now is really unique because he lives in LA and I live in Miami. So
okay.
We like just started out. So this situation, yeah, it's a unique situation. It's not normal. So yes, he is, but we're having tiny little just issues with distance, like very minimal issues that usually get talked through, and it's usually not an issue at all. It's like a little something, we talk about it and it goes away and that's fine. But we've been very solid for months and we've been doing this long distance thing since May, like since, so, but I just think like, as much as I would love to believe that, I still think that, I don't know, man. I think just by nature, men are just selfish creatures, They're like, oh, my boys are my boys.
I've never heard that one before. That's a new one.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's new to me. Go ahead, Amanda. Go ahead, Amanda.
I agree with you guys. I mean, there are guys who are a little bit more selfish. I have met some, and like even some of my girlfriends that have dated guys that are a little bit more selfish. There's a bit of all of them, but luckily, like even though things haven't worked out with some of the guys that I've dated, like they've all tried to make sure that like my happiness comes first. Like they try to get to know me, and they'll be like, Amanda, like what is it that you prefer eating? Like, do you like, what's your favorite type of food? Like, and I'll be like, oh, I really like Italian, or I like Japanese, or like I'm in the mood for this. And they'll try to like find different options. They'll be like, oh, which one of these do you like the most? Or like they'll really try to like impress me.
Well, that's where you fucked up. You should have figured out which was the best one himself and brought you to that.
Well, what I mean is like they would really try to go out of their way to make sure that I was happy when we go on dates. You know what I mean?
But you got to execute. You don't try. You got to execute.
No, they would try.
No, that's my point. The thought doesn't matter. The thought doesn't count. When you're dealing with women, you gotta execute. You gotta make it happen. Your effort don't mean shit. You gotta make it happen.
But we would go on dates. Like we would go. Like it's not like it didn't happen. Like it did. But like it just we would fall out. But like we would go on these dates and like I was happy. Everything was good. So I do have to give it to them that they did try, and I could tell that my happiness did matter.
But you broke up though.
Yeah,
but you broke up though. Too much trying, not enough doing.
It was just dates with guys that they were all dating other girls, and like I mean, these guys wouldn't tell me anything, and it's just.
So now, would you say that goes to the type of men that you were surrounding yourself with? Because you made a comparison earlier between men and dating in Miami, and was it Jersey that you were from, right? Jersey?
Yes.
Okay. So the guy's a little bit different there, right?
Dating because I was in a relationship for 12 years. So this is all very new. So I started dating, and I didn't really know what I was
Somebody got
looking
some feedback. Somebody playing something else?
Is someone got YouTube in the background?
Somebody else is playing YouTube again, also in the background.
So, yeah, I was in a relationship for 12 years, and like we broke up and everything, and obviously like since I was in a relationship like pretty much my whole life, I didn't know anything about dating. My best friend was like, Amanda, like it's time for you to start dating at this point because it's been like a year.
Get her on Tinder. Put her on Tinder.
And so she started getting me into like dating stuff, and I really didn't have any expectations. And so my idea was, because like I know from my friends' experiences, like they started dating people and they ended up in relationships. So when I started dating these guys, like they would tell me like all these like things that sounded like commitment, and I didn't know that they had like 5 other girls because they didn't tell me. If they told me, that's one thing. I would be like, okay, fine, that's okay.
That's a good thing, though.
Things that make it seem
That's
like
a good
they wanted
thing.
something, and then once I found out, like literally, like this one guy, we were at a party, and he had me and like 5 of the other girls that he was like hooking up with at the same party, and like all the girls were like fighting with each other over like his attention. It was just so awkward.
I thought I was the only one. All right, Bill Bellamy, how to be a player in the house. All right.
Okay. All right.
So,
Shout out to the
it's
G.
just
Shout out to the
like-
player.
It's just awkward at that point. And
Yeah, but you
if
loved
I
it, though.
know,
You loved
like,
it, though.
If you're just upfront with me and honest, then it's like, okay, cool. Then I'm gonna explore my options too. But don't make it seem like, you know what I mean?
So I
That's
got
not
a
a
follow
good
up
look.
question to
It's
that
not a good
then.
look for women,
So what is it? Okay? So upfront and honest, right? Because I wouldn't say we all know, but like majority of the time, when a man shows his honesty, he's usually blunt and upfront with a woman, right? So now, how do you know how can a man be honest with you about him trying to exercise his options without it coming off, or at least triggering you emotionally?
Just be like, listen, like, what are you looking for? Are you wanting a commitment, or do you want, like, or not? Like, what are you looking for? And like, you just be like, listen, like, I'm not looking for a commitment right now. I'm just looking into this dating or like hooking up, and that's it. Like, and if I wasn't
Those are
okay
more
with that,
theories,
then fine.
not practice. That's theories, though. That's not practice. When has a guy
It's
did that
really not that
and it played out?
deep.
When did that play
But
out well?
you should do that though. You should.
Well, when has that ever played
it
out
goes-
well for either party?
The
When did that
one
play out well
guy
for either party?
did ask me that. They have asked me that. That's the thing.
But you know
Yeah,
what?
I think he asked you that while admitting that he had other women. That's what you're saying. He asked you that in the process of admitting that he had other women in rotation.
No, he didn't.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
You just need
I
to
just-
go into every
I just
relationship
think-
That's just dinner
that you
talk.
go into. Don't
That's
have
not being honest. That's just
expectations.
dinner conversation.
Yeah, you can't. But the thing is, like,
Yeah.
I didn't have expectations, but I also didn't really know too much anything about dating. So here I am thinking, like, oh, like this guy's like looking for commitment, and we've been dating for like a few weeks now. I didn't know what to
All right.
expect.
Amanda, let me do some math conversion for you. I want to do some math conversion for you, right? You know how you can convert, liters to ounces, and you can convert kilometers to miles, right? I'm going to convert the male to the female, right? So a guy, right, that has abundance, he has access to other women, he has other women in the rotation, right? What is he getting access to? He's getting access to them intimately. He's getting access to their sexuality. Now, what you have to understand is he's a man. His measurement system is different than your measurement system. Now, as a female, an attractive female, what are you getting access to? You're getting access to a lot of males' attention. There's plenty of guys that are giving you attention. They could be taking you on dates. They're calling you, they're messaging you on Instagram, they're liking your pictures, they're commenting. In your mind, you're thinking, yeah, but I'm not sleeping with them. You're sleeping with those girls. Yes, you're a female. You have a different measurement system than what he has. So in actuality, what you and him are doing is actually equal. And he has 5 women that he has sexual access to. You got 5 dudes texting you, good morning, beautiful. Good morning, beautiful. How are you? I saw your last post. It's beautiful. It's the same damn thing. You're thinking that what he's doing is sinister because he's actually having sex with those women. Well, guess what? If you were in a committed relationship with him, he'd be fucking pissed off that some dudes are texting you good morning and telling you that you're gorgeous and you're beautiful and asking you how are you and how's your mom and all this other kind of crap. So women have to understand that men and women are different. We have different measurement systems. Women think that a guy should be only dealing with them, only spending time with them, only giving attention to them, only having sex with them. Meanwhile, she has 30,000 followers on Instagram. Really? So you expect this guy to stop putting himself inside women, but you're not trying to take your damn Instagram down, are you? You're not realizing it's the same damn thing. It's just a different measurement system. It's a different ruler that's being used, but it's still equivalent. I know you don't like to hear that, but it's the truth. You don't like the feeling of that. Well, guess what? Guys don't like the feeling that the girl that they're trying to deal with has tons of guys in their DMs. Tons of guys offering to fly him out. Tons of guys sending him gifts, sending flowers to their fucking job and all this shit, making him look like an idiot. He's dating you. He's the one dealing with your shit, but you got other dudes sending flowers to you, telling you that you're perfect, yet they've never met you in person. Right? So it's the same damn thing. Women have to accept that. They have to understand and accept that. This is why celebrities have groupies, and the groupies, they just accept that. So if we're talking about humans as an animal, because we're an animal, right?
Nature, I think we often forget that too. We tend to forget that.
Right. There's no written contract. So if there wasn't all these rules and all this shit in play, let me tell you something. The top 20% of men would have access to several women, and those will be their women and their women only. Because if another man touched them, they would kill that man. And they would have other men in their in-group that would help them kill that man. Like, yo, you fucking with my female? Hey, yo, you, Charlie, Drake, this nigga, come on, we gotta ride on these niggas. One of these niggas, listen, you know the story of Troy. They went to war over Helen, right? Because somebody tried to take another man's woman, and I'm sure he had other women, because he was a king, so I know he had other women. But when someone touched one of his women, he was ready to go to war. And that's the natural order of things. If you're a higher status man, you have access to multiple females. It's in every mammal. Every mammal, every apex predator, the dominant alpha males have access to multiple females, and it is what it is. Now, this structure that you're looking at that you think is natural, it's not natural. The elites put it in place, and I'm going to explain to you why. If we left it to be the way that it was, society would be less productive. Because the moment the bottom 80% of men realize we ain't going to have access to no females, guess what they're not doing? They're not working their life away. They're not building shit. They're not maintaining infrastructure. Perfect. They're not inventing anything. All their motivation is gone because they know I ain't 6 foot. Okay, I ain't 210 pounds muscle. I'm not the fastest. I'm not the strongest. I'm not in the in-group of dominant men. So I get no pussy. So if I get no pussy, what am I trying for?
And Ayindei, what also comes along with that? Resentment, correct? A lot of resentment comes along with that.
So what you have to understand is the government understood that the greatest resource on this planet is human labor. That's the greatest resource on this planet. So the government knows that if we want to create infrastructure, we want to have a society, we want to be able to tax motherfuckers and control motherfuckers, we have to give every man an equal shot at some pussy. So they came out with two concepts. That the one concept they came with is virgins until marriage. And the second concept that they came out with is monogamy. Those are the two concepts they use to control manhood, to control the motivation. The greatest motivation on this planet is the motivation to reproduce.
See, so I'm glad you said that.
You can harness that energy. You can do anything. Me personally, I went celibate for 3 months, and I said, God damn, I got a lot done. So I was celibate for 6 months. I said, God damn, I got a lot done. And then I said, oh shit, am I gonna make it to a year? Probably not. So I said, you know what? From now on, only out the country pussy. When I'm in the States, I'm on my grind. Right? When I accomplish something, I get my ass on a plane, I have some fun, giggity goo, then I get my ass right back into the States and get back grinding. You understand what I'm saying? Because that no flap is real, right? Any man that can control and harness his sexual energy, you can fucking build airplanes, ask the Wright brothers. So this is what I'm trying to say. Women have to understand how we really operate. Fuck what they telling you is proper. Fuck what they telling you is appropriate and politically correct and how it should be. Bro, that's all in y'all heads, right? Y'all romanticizing these ideas. That's why they don't never play out like that in reality.
That's what I was going to add to Ayindei.
Right. If a man can have more than one woman, he gonna keep them women. You know why everybody keeps breaking up and cheating on each other and doing all this other shit? Because we can't just openly have and keep our women. If we could just openly have and keep our women, we'd be adding to the stable as we could afford. As we could afford. And we will be keeping all of our women happy, all of our women content as best we could. Broke motherfuckers can have more than one, if one. But I'm telling you right now, if you a CEO and you live in a society that embraces polygamy, these motherfuckers would have 5 wives that are spoiled. In most cultures that allow polygamy, they don't allow you to treat one wife better than the other.
Facts.
If you buy one wife a house, you gotta buy the other one a house. Right? So y'all have to deal with what it is, not what you wish it was.
So what I want to add to your point that I thought was fantastic, and I want a lot of young men in the chat and even guys that are in chat right now to understand that there's this kind of thought process that I've been having for a while, that monogamy was social conditioning for men. to keep that whole marriage. Just like we have feminism right now, social conditioning for women.
Social
It's trying to get them to
conditioning.
to liberate women. I think back in the day, just because how unstable that balance is. Like you said, if a lot of guys aren't doing like you don't understand how much things that we do for like a lot of for women. Things that we build is to be successful.
We
so
are conditioned.
Women. So when you got a bunch of guys
and keep them comfortable and happy.
Exactly. And this will go to my the next question that the audience member asked. But if you got a bunch of guys who are not who believe that a lot of these women, even the average girls now, to the point that they feel like it's out of their league, they're not going to be motivated to do anything, you know. And then even some of the young girls, I'm sure you guys have had experiences with those guys deal with, they're bums and they treat them like trash, even though they ain't got shit, because they don't have anything going for themselves. And that's how I was when I was younger, man. When I didn't have my grind, when I wasn't doing even working I would say a job that was respectable, right? Women were my thing. Women were my goal. It became hey, you know, who can I get with? What can I get with? It wasn't until like I had to do something that not only gave me purpose, right? That envisioned to be able to shoot for something more than myself. That's when it was like, all right, let me focus on this versus that. But that's how a lot of guys are. And then we get to the point where there's a lot of bad behavior going on. But let me ask this question. This is going to be to the ladies to the panel, and then Ayindei and I can kind of win our opinions on this. What do you guys think about the red pill? Is it something that's good? You guys like it? Do you like the messaging, or do you guys not? And the red pill is kind of like the ideology of men, you know, seeing the true nature of females, and you know, the hypergamy, you know, always monkey branching, and all those different terms like that. What do you guys think about it? What are your thoughts on the red pill? Anybody?
Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear, Crystal.
Crystal clear.
Well, to be honest, I don't
Crystal clear.
I don't think the red pill is a bad community. I think it's very useful for young men who don't really know how to go about getting women, how to attract women, how to deal with women, and how to build their life, especially if they want to be like a certain type of man or be on a certain type of caliber. I think it's a great community to be a part of. However, I just think that they need to have discernment, because I think there's some red pill content creators that just take it all the way to the far left, like, or the far right, and they just hate women. Like, you're not gonna get any type of women acting like that.
Yeah. Okay. So the okay.
Reasonable.
Okay. So if you want to elaborate on that real quick, so in terms of like what is it about that ideology that makes it repulsive to women?
It's just the more so like, so when you see, it's like they try to paint all women as just like a small group. So it's like, usually when I see like certain red pill channels, they're talking about OnlyFans women or porn stars or thotty girls, and they're doing this on Instagram, and they're fucking around with a bunch of guys, or messing around with a bunch of guys, or blah blah blah. And there are women like that, but majority of the women that are out there, I personally believe, are just regular women. They have regular jobs, they go to school. Like, most women are not as like, it's this one young lady, and I seen her blow up on the internet, Jasmine Blue. She was talking about how
yeah, that one. Oh boy. Oh no.
So in red pill,
pray for that woman. Yeah.
She proves the red pill.